This was a budget that needed to lift the country out of the gloom of the worst recession this Parliament has seen in 300 years. The future shape of the economy might still be indistinct, but the scale of the problem is clear. For a chancellor barely a year into his job, the responsibility of trying to safeguard millions of others. Protection in place, Rishi Sunak left to announce how he'll try to shield a shuddering economy.
Mr. Chancellor of the Exchequer.
It's going to take this country and the whole world a long time to recover from this extraordinary economic situation. But we will recover. This budget meets the moment with a three-part plan to protect the jobs and livelihoods of the British people.
Part one of that plan, more big spending.
We will continue doing whatever it takes to support the British people and businesses through this moment of crisis.
The emergency measures that will continue include extending the furlough scheme until the end of September, with employers contributing from July. There are further grants for the self-employed, and 600,000 newly self-employed will now be included. The £20 a week uplift to universal credit will last another 6 months. Business rates and stamp duty holidays will continue to the end of June, then will be phased out. VAT cuts for hospitality and tourism will last longer, until the end of September. And alcohol and fuel duty will be frozen.
By any objective analysis, this government has delivered one of the largest, most comprehensive and sustained responses this country has ever seen.
If that was the sweetener, then came the medicine, with future tax rises that would make plenty of Tories in normal times twitchy. The Chancellor will attempt to start paying for it by increasing corporation tax. By 2023, it will rise to 25% from 19%. Small businesses will be exempt. And personal tax thresholds will be frozen from next year until 2026, meaning more people are dragged into paying tax.
These are significant decisions to have taken. Decisions no Chancellor wants to make. I recognise they might not be popular, but they are honest.
There were measures too to try to boost the recovery. 8 new free ports or special economic zones, and this.
I can announce the super deduction.
A scheme to allow companies to reduce their tax bill by 130% of the cost when they invest.
An important moment is upon us. A moment of challenge and of change. Of difficulties, yes, but of possibilities too. This is a budget that meets that moment, and I commend it to the House.
The Prime Minister appreciated it, the Leader of the Opposition less so.
The Chancellor may think that this is time for a victory lap, but I'm afraid this budget won't feel so good for the millions of key workers who are having their pay frozen, for the businesses swamped by debt, and the families paying more in council tax, and the millions of people who are out of work or worried about losing their job.
Breaking with tradition, the Chancellor then went to Downing Street to explain his decisions to press and public.
I know the British people don't like tax rises, nor do I. But I also know they dislike dishonesty even more.
No one could accuse this Chancellor of shying away from the limelight. As we grope our way out of the pandemic and his largesse starts to fade, that might become a rather less comfortable place to be. Romilly Weeks, News at 10.